Lowe says it's helping its employees handle high inflation by handing out $55 million in bonuses. With inflation levels not seen since the early 1980s, paychecks just are not stretching as far these days.
That Lowe's employee just saved me $847 by accidentally revealing something corporate never wanted customers to know. What she whispered changed everything I thought about shopping there. But here's what's really crazy. This isn't even the worst part of what I discovered. Lowe's slaps that lowest price guarantee on everything like a shiny badge of honor. Sounds great, right? Well, hold on to your reading glasses because the devil's dancing in those details. Here's what they promise. Find a lower price at a competing store, and they'll match it. Simple as pie. But then comes the fine print that's smaller than any tracks on a sidewalk. Custom orders? Nope, doesn't count. Installation services? Sorry, Charlie. That sweet deal you found on Amazon from some third-party seller? Not happening. It's like offering free ice cream, but only if you're lactose tolerant, born on a Tuesday, and can juggle. The real kicker? You've got to do all the legwork yourself. No fancy computer automatically finds you savings. You need to hunt down proof like you're Sherlock Holmes. Then track down a manager who might be hiding somewhere between the paint department and Timbuktu. Most folks my age never even bother asking. We see that guarantee sign and think, well, if there was a better price, surely they'd tell me. Meanwhile, $20 bills are flying out our wallets faster than teenagers leaving church. But wait, there's more restrictions. The competing store has to be local. Define local, right? Sometimes it means within 50 miles. Sometimes it means they need to have a physical location in your zip code. It's more confusing than programming a VCR. Even when you successfully price match, and congratulations if you make it through that obstacle course, some items suddenly become ineligible for coupons or other promotions. It's like winning a contest only to find out the prize comes with a subscription fee. The truth is, most shoppers walk right past potential savings because this guarantee has more hoops than a basketball tournament. Those missed opportunities add up faster than compound interest. Speaking of missed opportunities, there are certain items at Lowe's that'll make your wallet cry tears of regret if you're not careful about where you shop. Now, here's where things get sneaky. Lowe's counts on you thinking their prices are automatically competitive. Well, that's like assuming your neighbor's casserole is homemade when you saw the frozen box in their trash. Let's start with appliances. Those shiny refrigerators and washing machines, they're often marked up 20 to 30% higher than specialty appliance stores. And during manufacturer sales events, you'll find the exact same models for hundreds less elsewhere. But Lowe's hopes you won't check. Then there's their gardening section. Looks impressive, right? But that bag of mulch you're eyeing costs almost double what the landscape supply center down the road charges. Same goes for fertilizer and soil amendments. Big box stores run seasonal promotions that make Lowe's prices look like highway robbery. Power tools are their favorite trick. They bundle everything together and slap a value pack sticker on it. Sounds great until you realize buying those tools individually during online flash sales saves you $40 to $60. It's like paying restaurant prices for a TV dinner. But here's the real kicker. Those replacement parts in the main aisles. Water filters, air conditioning filters, furnace parts. They're charging you double, sometimes triple what you'd pay at warehouse clubs or online. It's easier to grab them while you're there, sure, but your wallet takes a beating. Recent price surveys show their light bulbs and batteries cost 20 to 30% more than grocery stores or discount retailers. That's real money adding up over time, especially for seniors on fixed incomes. And watch out for their exclusive brands. They sound fancy with premium packaging, but check the specs. Most have identical features to cheaper versions at competing stores. It's like buying designer water when the tap works just fine. The worst part? They rotate these overpriced exclusives regularly, so you think you're getting something special. You're not. But don't worry. There are hidden gold mines in every Lowe's that most shoppers walk right past without noticing. You know those treasure hunters with metal detectors who find old coins buried in beaches? Well, Lowe's has its own buried treasure, but most shoppers walk right past it. Here's what they don't want you to know. Those yellow clearance tags? They're scattered like breadcrumbs throughout the store, but not where you'd expect. Walk past the main aisles and check those awkward corners where they stack the oops merchandise. I'm talking about the space behind the lawnmowers, or that weird alcove near the employee break room. But here's the kicker, and this one's worth its weight in gold. Those yellow-tagged prices aren't always final. Half the time, items ring up even cheaper at checkout. It's like getting a discount on your discount. Always scan those yellow tags at the self-checkout before you pay. You might find that $50 patio chair is actually $30. Timing is everything, folks. You know how your grandkids show up right after dinner when the good leftovers are gone? Don't be those grandkids. Hit Lowe's the first week after major holidays. Christmas, 4th of July, Labor Day. That's when they're practically giving away seasonal stuff. But move fast, because other smart shoppers know this trick too. Then there's the secret most employees won't tell you unless you ask nicely. Each store has its own markdown schedule. Some do it Tuesday mornings, others Thursday nights. Strike up a conversation with the folks restocking shelves. They know exactly when the good stuff gets marked down. The real gold mine? Open box appliances and discontinued items. These babies can be 70% off, but they're usually tucked away like unwanted relatives at a family reunion. Check the very top shelves and the very bottom ones. Store managers hide the deep discounts where most people won't look. And speaking of things hiding in plain sight, let me tell you about the psychological tricks Lowe's uses to make you spend money you didn't plan to spend. Walking into Lowe's without a game plan is like going grocery shopping when you're starving. You know what happens next. Those impossibly wide aisles aren't designed for your convenience. They're psychological highways leading straight to your wallet. The moment you step inside, you're not just shopping anymore. You're being hunted by cleverly placed displays and shiny distractions. Here's the sneaky part. Lowe's puts all the good stuff you actually need around the store's edges. Paint, lumber, tools. The basics live on the perimeter. But those gorgeous center aisles? Pure temptation territory. They're packed with premium-priced gadgets that'll make you think, oh, I could use one of those. And those bright, colorful end caps at every aisle? Marketing gold mines. Most folks assume anything featured prominently must be on sale. Wrong. Half the time, those featured items cost more than identical products sitting 3 feet away on regular shelves. I watched my neighbor Frank come home last week with a fancy LED work light he swore he needed. $35 for something that'll probably sit in his garage for the next decade. Makes sense, right? The real kicker is how these impulse purchases add up. Studies show the average shopper walks out spending an extra $30 on unplanned items every single trip. That's nearly $400 a year on stuff you never intended to buy. But here's where it gets personal for seniors. Those clearance bins scattered throughout the store? Total distraction magnets. You go in for a simple tube of caulk and somehow leave with a decorative bird feeder and matching wind chimes. The worst part? Many of these impulse items, especially those trendy seasonal decorations and gadgets, cost double what you'd pay at discount stores. Lowe's knows you're already there with your credit card out, So why not capitalize on convenience? Well, there's something even more dangerous than impulse buying that's quietly draining seniors' budgets, and most people have no idea it's happening. Look, I've watched my neighbor Gladys come home from Lowe's with bags full of stuff she never intended to buy. And honestly, most seniors are making the same costly mistakes without even realizing it. Here's the big one that gets almost everyone. Those rebate forms sitting by the register? Yeah, the ones that look like homework from hell. Most folks just walk right past them, but you're literally leaving $20 to $50 on the table, especially on appliances and power tools. The stores know most people won't bother with the paperwork, so they keep offering these deals. But wait, there's more ways your budget's getting drained. Ever see something gorgeous online, drive to the store, and find out they don't actually have it? Welcome to Lowe's favorite trick. Their online inventory makes everything look available. But the actual store might have 3 items total. You end up buying something similar that costs more because you're already there. Then there's the better safe than sorry trap. You need 2 gallons of paint, so you buy 3. Just in case, right? Wrong. That extra gallon sits in your garage for 5 years, until it's basically expensive paste. Same thing happens with screws, nails, and those little hardware packets that multiply like rabbits. And speaking of multiplication, bulk isn't always beautiful. That giant pack of batteries might look like a steal until half of them die before you use them. Makes sense, right? Here's where it gets really sneaky, though. That store credit card they're pushing? Sure, 10% off sounds nice today. But if you don't pay it off immediately, the interest rates are higher than a giraffe's backside. They're counting on you forgetting. Well, the warranty game is another budget killer. You buy something, toss the receipt, and when it breaks, good luck proving you bought it there. But here's what really burns my biscuits about Lowe's. Here's the thing about senior discounts at Lowe's. They're about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. While your local diner gives you 10% off just for having gray hair, Lowe's acts like senior discounts are some kind of alien concept. Most locations don't offer any regular senior discount at all. Compare that to places like Walgreens or even some grocery stores, and you'll wonder if Lowe's thinks older shoppers are made of money. Well, maybe they do think that. But here's where it gets sneaky. They do offer military discounts year-round. 10% off for veterans and active service members. Sounds great, right? The catch is, you need to register online first, then bring a photo ID every single time. For many seniors who served decades ago, this feels like jumping through hoops just to save a few bucks on a garden hose. Then there's the digital disaster. Lowe's has gone full smartphone crazy with their coupons. Paper flyers are disappearing faster than free samples at Costco. If you don't have the app or check their website daily, you're missing deals left and right. It's like they forgot that not everyone wants to squint at tiny phone screens while shopping for light bulbs. The deal of the day sounds promising until you realize it vanishes by noon. Early birds get the worm, but the rest of us get full price. And those promotional codes you see advertised? Read the fine print. They often exclude exactly what you came to buy. Paint, appliances, lumber. Basically everything useful gets crossed off the discount list. Here's what really grinds my gears. Employees won't volunteer information about available savings unless you specifically ask. They'll watch you pay full price while knowing about ongoing promotions. It's like playing 20 questions, but your wallet loses if you don't ask the right ones. But wait until you hear what employees are actually allowed to do behind the scenes. Things that could save you serious money if you know the right words to say. Ever notice how Lowe's employees seem to follow a script? Well, here's what they're not telling you. That banged-up box sitting on the shelf? Pure gold. If the packaging looks like it went 10 rounds with a forklift, you can ask for a discount. Most employees won't mention this little gem because they assume you don't want damaged goods. But here's the kicker. The item inside is usually perfect. I once got a perfectly good drill for 30% off because the box looked like my grandson used it for soccer practice. Then there's the magic of timing. Early morning shoppers hit the jackpot. Managers have more freedom to override prices on items that have been collecting dust. It's like catching them before they've had their second cup of coffee. They're more generous with markdowns. But wait, there's more. Those returned items? They're like fine wine. They get better with age. After sitting around for 30 days, managers can slash prices again and again. I've seen lawnmowers go from full price to practically giving them away just because nobody wanted to buy someone else's return. Here's where it gets interesting. Stock workers are walking treasure maps. They know exactly which aisles get marked down overnight. Strike up a friendly conversation while they're restocking, and you might learn the best shopping day for that particular store. The real secret weapon? Price-matching errors happen constantly. When that scanner shows a higher price than the shelf tag, you're entitled to the lower amount. Most folks just pay without checking. That's like leaving money on the table. And my personal favorite, the display model, goldmine. Every store has leftover parts from floor displays, missing hardware bags, and demonstration leftovers. Employees can often hand these out for free, but only if you ask. They call it the never ask, never tell pile. The moral of the story? Your mouth is your best shopping tool. Ask questions, request discounts, and don't be shy about pointing out damaged packaging.